Welcome to the Veganette and Kids. Today I'm making vegan Philly bagels. This is a messy meal, but I promise you it is delicious. Alright, so to make this meal, I am going to be using green pepper, onion, and red pepper. I'm also going to be using mushroom that I've already cleaned and washed here. And then I'm going to be using Linder's plain bagels to pop in the oven. And I'm also going to be using vegan Chao cheese slices and Hellman's vegan mayo. So to make this meal, I'm going to start by putting some olive oil in a pan here, as you can see. And then I'm going to add in my onions, my green pepper, and my red pepper. And what I'm going to do first, before adding anything else, is I'm going to saute this for about 2 to 3 minutes, just until the vegetables begin to soften up or become a little more tender. Now once they become a little tender, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add my mushroom, and I'm going to let this cook for an additional 5 minutes or so my mushrooms can now become tender. And throughout this process, while I'm stirring, I'm going to go in, I'm adding a little bit of Himalayan pink salt along with some paprika and some garlic powder and also some white pepper. Now for the white pepper, I'm only using like a pinch, not much at all, because I don't want it to overpower my vegetables. So while this is still kind of softening up with all of my veggies, I'm just going to stir this one more time. I'm going to put in about a teaspoon or so of water just so it doesn't begin to stick. And then I'm going to put a lid over it for a few more minutes. Alright, so while my lid is on my veggies, what I'm going to do is get a baking sheet. I put some olive oil on the baking sheet. And what I'm going to do is just spread that out, and then I'm going to start to layer my bagels on the baking sheet because I'm going to let them bake for about 5 minutes or so. And I'm going to take some slices of that Chao vegan cheese that I showed you, and I'm going to place it directly over the bagel. So while this is baking and it's becoming nice and crisp, the cheese will be melting down. So here are my veggies. I've taken my lid off, and what I'm going to do now is add in 2 teaspoons, not much at all, of that vegan mayo. I know it sounds crazy, but vegan mayo is very good when you want things to be a little more creamy. And I found that the taste of it is very well when you add it to certain things, just for that creaminess. It's almost, to me, like a heavy cream substitute, just in a vegan way. So I'm just going to stir this around for a moment, and now I'm pretty much done. I'm just going to let this cook down and let the mayo get nice and infused there with the veggies. But then what I'm going to do is go in and I'm going to add about 4 slices of that vegan Chao cheese directly to the mushrooms as well. The reason that I'm doing this is so that the cheese can keep the mushroom intact when I put it on the bagel. So I'm going to cook this for a few more minutes. I'm going to remove it from the heat because now everything is nice and hot and the cheese is just going to start to melt down. So I've taken my bagels out of the oven. As you can see here, this is how they look. I mentioned before in another video that I have noticed personally that vegan cheese does not melt as well as dairy cheese does. It still melts, but it's just a little different. So if you're okay with that, you will really enjoy this recipe. But I'm just going to take a spatula here. I grabbed a spoon just to kind of slide my veggies directly onto the bagel. This is super messy, but it's really good. You know, if you have some type of sandwich wrap or aluminum foil or anything at all just to kind of hold the bottom of it, that might work a little bit better for you. Sometimes we just use a knife and we cut it up. But now for the last part, with the additional pieces of bagel that we didn't do anything with, you can add ketchup, mustard. I just decided to add some mayo. But this is the final result. I'm super excited about this. I've made this for my children about 3 times now. I have 4 kids and 2 of them absolutely love it. So for me, that's a win because I'm just trying to get them to embrace more vegan recipes. So yeah, if you give this meal a try, please let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear your feedback. But I'll be back soon with more vegan breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas. Thanks for watching.